Francis Ryan Park in Escondido, the North County of San Diego. This is the State Cup 2012. Hello again, everybody. I'm Greg G.K. Porter, and it's time to shift colors for all you sailors out there, past and present. We're underway. And going from right to left is going to be the Tvsa Hawks, and from left to right is the Cypress Premier FC. Let's get the lineups for both squads. First, for Cypress Premier FC, they're in all black, and their keeper will be Omar Navarro. He's number 18. Number 3 at midfield is Christian Lemus. Number 4 at defender is Ian Detner. Number 8 at midfield is Joshua Funes. Number 9 at defender is Jose Villa. Number 10 at defender is Cesar Jimenez. Number 11 at mid is Rogelio Velasquez. Number 13 at midfield, Brian Chung. 16 at forward is Christopher Pichardo. 17 at midfield is Ignacio Laicia. 23 is Jonathan Serrano. 24 is Angel Rocha. 71 is Leo Rodriguez. And number 80 is Daniel Lara. That's the lineup for Cypress Premier FC. Let's get the lineup for Tvsa Hawks. Black. The keeper is Cameron Franklin. And number 1 will be Taylor Perales. Number 2 is Matthew Choi. 3, Luis Diaz. 5, Fernando Gomez. 6, Casey Chavez. 7, Alexis Gonzalez. 8, Jake Mitchell. 10, Dakota Jacobson. 11, Francisco Mariscal. 12, Daniel Zayas. 14, Jesus Gomez. 15, Michael Rager. 17, Gavin Corby. And 18 is Diego Ochoa. And now the Tvsa Hawks with that soccer ball. Pushing it up forward.
Put it down. Put it down.
And now in the central, you got Cypress Premier with it now, and that was a pass by Jonathan Serrano. And he gets it back, and Serrano service, and it is knocked past the goal line. Not a bad ball into the box by Serrano on a good run on the right flank here.
Hold it. Hold it. Chris, hold it.
And there's going to be a substitution. We will mention any substitutions as they touch that soccer ball if we miss them. Corner kick now for Cypress Premier FC into the 6-yard box, and it struck over the past the goal line that time. Looked like that ball went to Christopher Pichardo. And now the goal kick. Let's set up the situation for Cypress Premier FC in this match. In this bracket play match to get to the round of 32. They played in their games yesterday. They lost to the Poway Vaqueros, and then they tied the Exiles Red. The score in that match was 2-2. Tvsa, they were able to beat the Exiles Red 1-0, and then they were able to beat Poway, the Vaqueros, 5-0. So the situation is this. Cypress Premier FC needs a shutout by a substantial margin to advance to the round of 32 over the Exiles Red. On the near side, Cypress Premier with it, and that's Serrano again, his service, and then his shot is wide of frame, that time by Rogelio Velasquez. Nice ball to Velasquez, and Velasquez's strike was just a little bit off that time of the near post. So the goal kick for the Temecula Valley Soccer
Stay inside.
Association.
Now who's making the run?
Upfield out of their defensive third. But winning it is Cypress Premier, and a shot there by Leo Rodriguez. And it goes wide of frame.
Come on, turn around.
Dakota Jacobson is setting it up there.
Going, John.
You're watching the Stadium View camera with George Langevin on the camera today. Under cloudy skies. It's been a weekend that has had some rain. And today, just a little bit of sprinkles here and there, but going to be able to get these games in today with no problem. Lycia, and then his teammate now has it, drops it back to Jose Villa. His pass intercepted into space, but they try to get it back. Cypress Premier on the near side, going after it, hustling after it is Serrano, but he couldn't hold it in. Throw in by Tvsa.
Your arms down.
On it now, quickly, is number 8, Jake Mitchell, and Mitchell can't go any further. And trying to help him out that time was Taylor Perales, but Perales couldn't keep it in. So it'll be a throw-in for Cypress Premier FC out of the LA County area. Cypress, California, and Temecula on the verge of, or on the fringes of Riverside County. On the near side, running it down is Jimenez. Jimenez now, and that ball goes out of play. And actually, take that back, that was Dakota Jacobson who was trying to keep it in, and he could not. On the near side, here's a nice ball into the 18-yard box, and trying to half volley that ball in a bicycle kick style was Christopher Pichardo, and he just couldn't quite connect. That's a brilliant try, though, by Pichardo. The throw in by Daniel Lara. Looking over on that near side for Ian Detner. But Detner didn't get it. The ball driven out of play. 0-0 the score here in the first half at Francis Parker, or Ryan Francis Park, I should say, in Escondido. Francis Parker is a high school in the San Diego area. Very good in sports, too, private high school. And we have a whistle. It's going to be a free kick. 0-0 your score in this boys under 12 President's Division of the 2012 State Cup. Free kick now, Tvsa. Cross the center circle, but intercepted nicely that time by Ignacio Lycia, but he couldn't go any further. Trying to get support there, and they have it in a central, and a send a ball into the attacking third now for Serrano. His service just a little bit by Pichardo, but he did get it, and then he tried to service it into the 18-yard box, but stiffening up back there in the back line is the all-white. And they have to do it again. Here is Pichardo. Pichardo dropping it back, and then now a service. Looking for Pichardo again, and he's not going to be able to get it as it was headed out quickly by the white with the red numbers. Tvsa. Out of play in a far side touchline in this 0-0 match. Francis Ryan Park has not been around for a long time. In fact, right behind this video camera is an area where they are adding to the fields here. Well, this is in a section, one of the newer sections in San Diego County, or newer areas with nice homes, or more expensive homes, I should say, as you can have a nice home downtown San Diego, and it's been around since the early 1900s. Throwing now for Cypress Premier FC.
Stay inside, Roy.
I
Stay
used to
inside.
live in one of those homes too. Into the attacking third. Cypress Premier out of their own defensive third in this 0-0 match. Going up forward. And is Central. Getting it up to Serrano. And then now on it, it's Pichardo. Pichardo down the right flank. Pichardo in the box, takes a shot, and it hits the top of frame. Trying to get another subsequent strike on it. Can they do it? But man is going to be a goal kick, and substitutions are coming in now. Nice shot by Pichardo and a nice run by Christopher. Coming in now is Funes, Joshua Funes, and he's number 8 for Cypress Premier. And it's 0-0. Bracket play match of the State Cup 2012. The President's Division. And a player is down and hit very hard on the play, and it's a yellow card going against one of the Cypress Premier players. Luis Diaz is a player down, and smarting in around the midsection, and Luis is going to come off, and they're going to substitute a fresh player into the match. Here on the blustery day here in February, the week before President's Weekend. Down the right flank, Daniel Zayas came in to replace Luis. Gomez, and then back upfield. Onto it is Pichardo. And an early ball on the near side for Serrano. And Jonathan tried to get to that one, but he's still pursuing it and wins it. Pichardo, nice play, getting around Gonzalez in a box. Has his teammate in the central of the box. And the foul is called on the play. Either that was a foul or an offside. It's called. Didn't see which one it was, but either way, we are going back up the field. But now Cypress Premier winning it, keeping it in the defensive half of Temecula Valley. Tvsa Hawks on the near side. Mitchell winning it. Serrano, but then they take it away. Drive it upfield. 50-50 ball. Karams into towards the central, but coming up from the back. Nice job is Dentner. Pass intercepted back up the field for the Hawks. Taylor Perales. Perales now is service toward the central, and a foul against the defender. Actually against the striker that time, so it's going to be a free kick for Cypress Premier. Cypress Premier FC now. A quick strike by Pichardo. Pichardo winning the ball back again. Pichardo in the central. Playing on Chung now. Brian Chung switches the point of attack to the wide side now. Rocha. And Angel Rocha now finding his teammate along that left flank. It was Funes, and it was knocked out of play by the Hawks. The throw in. We're in the first weekend of the State Cup, the President's Division. And it's boys under 12 age group. toward the central in the 18-yard box. And the Hawks winning it, striking it upfield, but quickly there was Detner to keep them bottled up in their own defensive half. Mitchell, though, has it. Mitchell, his teammate, and that is going to be a foul. And it's a free kick, that foul going against the Hawks. Cypress FC. And Detner. Detner driving it down the central. The header over top of frame and to the right. Pichardo, who has been active here in the first half. He would have liked to have that one back. The great players, as time goes on in their age, are able to bring those types of balls down. And surely Pichardo has probably done it at different times. A couple of fresh players coming in for Temecula. Going out is Alexis Gonzalez. And didn't see who came in exactly. I'm at ground level. You can see it from up high. We will mention them as they touch that soccer ball. In its 0-0 match.
Put it down, Ignacio.
In a central. Trying to go down the central. Cypress FC can't go any further. And a foul. And will a player get booked? And yes, indeed, Christopher Pichardo getting booked with the yellow card. And so far in the early going, the center ref giving out the yellow cards. Dakota Jacobson driving the ball across midfield. Perales. Taylor Perales still pursuing the soccer ball, and it was knocked out by the All Black. So the Hawks will throw it in from the far side touchline in this 0-0 match. 30-minute halves. This boys under 12 match. Both these two teams, I mentioned before, quality teams in order to make it here in the State Cup. Here in this President's Division. Hawks driving it was Jacobson. Comes right back to him. Tries to go down to central. And Jacobson now is going to get a yellow card. There's been a few players with cards now and have to be careful. And the center ref is already determined how he wants you to play in this match. And if you're too aggressive, he's going to give you a yellow card. And if you obviously get a yellow card and then you get a subsequent card, you have been red carded, and then now your team is playing one player down for those of you who are still learning this game of soccer. And you'll play that way the rest of the match, even if it goes into overtime. Well, it's not going to be an overtime today, but that would be the case as well. Substitutions are coming in. Let's see if they are coming in for both sides. Well, we know that Christian Lemus is coming in for Cypress FC. It looks like there's another player coming in also. And that's going to be Daniel Lara, number 80. In the central for Cypress FC. It is struck up towards midfield. Serrano drops it back to Villa to get their passing game going down towards the central. As Chung wins it and drives it out wide. He's got his teammate. And then to Lycia, and Lycia's pass was intercepted. Lycia chasing it down, though, and gets it. And now a strike up forward by Villa, knocked out of play by the Hawks. So it's going to be a throw-in on a near side touch line. And it's 0-0 match. Throwing it in was Lemus. And a strike there by Lycia, and it is headed out of play. But it's going to still be a throw-in for Cypress FC. Taking it is Christian Lemus. And Lemus finding his teammate there, and that was Pichardo. And now on it is Rocha. Rocha wants to switch the point of attack, but it got intercepted there nicely by Mitchell. Mitchell's pass got intercepted. But Corby able to drive that ball up forward, trying to get Perales to chase it down, and he wins it. Perales into space, being real tough and going out wide to Mariscal, and dispossessed over there, but pinching in there was Perales. Nice play. So it goes off of the all black, and it's a throw-in from the far side touchline to Perales. And it goes out of play. It'll be a goal kick. Ian Detner setting it up. Looks like Cesar Jimenez is going to take it. And Jimenez's pass was intercepted there as they had three players in the central. And then it goes out wide now to Choi. Choi dispossessed as Detner comes over there. And it'll be a throw-in now for Cypress FC. Knocked out. In the defensive third, driven up forward, but kept in by Lemus from going any further. Now down to central, and coming off his line is Cameron Franklin, and a nice save there. Cameron nearly gave up a rebound, but did not in that instance, but he had a striker bearing down on him. Here's Detner. Detner on the wide. Ian's pass intercepted. Chung in his space, but the Hawks win it and drive it upfield. In the deep back, Cypress Premier with it. And that was Laura's pass, intercepted into space. On the near side, Jake Mitchell on the run. Mitchell up forward to Perales. Intercepted. Mitchell gets it again. And then now gets a return pass on a give and go, but he can't go any further as Lara was into space playing strong. And on the near side, it goes out of play. It'll be a throw-in for Cypress Premier. Down to central, Detner chasing it down, but Franklin gets to it first. On the wide now. Detner in the space. Ian has it go off of one of the all-white with the red numbers. So it's going to be a throw-in by Detner, and substitutions are coming in for both teams. Or a substitution. In this case, at least for Cypress FC, they are going to get number 11, Rogelio Velasquez, and Joshua Funes. I believe two substitutions came in for both teams, but either way, they will be mentioned as they touch that soccer ball. Detner is throwing from the far side touchline. Knocked out of play. Ian trying to find somebody in the space. He does get a touch, and it goes over to Franklin just ahead of his teammate, and that was Joshua Funes. Back upfield now. Lara getting it to Funes. Funes after the give and go with Lycia. Funes, and a nice challenge that time. Diego Choi doing a fine job. Pass intercepted down to Central. And a goal! Go, 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 goal! Christopher Pichardo putting it in the back of the net. And it is 1-0.
Hey, 4 minutes, guys. Come on, one more.
Getting close to halftime. And Pichardo scoring the first goal of the match on a beautiful shot in the back of the net. Detner's drive.
Daniel, easy.
Pichardo.
Joshua, come on.
Lara
Lara. Go, Joshua.
intercepts it.
Time, Rohit, time.
Funes out to the wide to Detner. Ian Detner now trying to go around two players. He has the ability to do that with Velasquez, the recipient, but upfield as Velasquez couldn't hold on to it. Into space quickly, Chung, and it goes out of play. TVSA Hawks now throw it in from their own defensive half. Greg G.K. Porter along with George Langevin on your video camera bringing you the sights and sounds.
There you go. That's go. That's clean.
Into space, Daniel Lara driving it into the 18-yard box. Pichardo, Lara, on the near side. Daniel Lara now putting it up forward to Funes. Pichardo, and it goes past the goal line. Jake Mitchell was hurt on that collision, and he is coming out of the match for the Hawks.
Let's go. We gotta win this ball.
And we will mention the player that comes in as he touches that soccer ball. You could probably see him from up high. Remember, I'm at ground level. Into Central.
Come on, Ian.
For the Hawks now, down by 1 goal. Here in the State Cup match, 2012. Now here's Pichardo. Pichardo goes down, but an offsides call. Center ref looking at his watch.
Hey, let's go, Black. Come on, we gotta win this.
And that always
Come on.
lets you know that it is close to the end of the first half, or the end of the game. Match, if you will, in soccer.
Go, Joshua, go.
Lara. Lara showing he is strong of foot. Staying after the soccer ball. And winning it there was Gomez. But Gomez gave it away. Pichardo, and there's a double whistle. And that is the end of the first half of action with the score. It is Cypress Premier FC leading 1-0 over TVSA Hawks Black, with Christopher Pichardo scoring the goal. Stick with us. You will see that the kids are paying attention to their coaches and getting refreshments, and then they'll be back for this second half of this exciting match here in the State Cup 2012. The State Cup President's Division, second half, and going from right to left is Cypress FC, and left to right is, of course, the Tvsa Hawks, black. They are down 1-0. Christopher Pichardo scoring the lone goal.
Open up, Joe.
Down the central, Cypress FC on a near side, and that ball goes out of play.
You know what to do. Don't let the ball run. Don't look at the ball.
Cypress Premier FC is going to throw it in. Looking for Detner. After the whistle now. Free kick to the central. And Franklin comes off his line to make the save.
Put that ball where his chest is facing.
Ryan Francis Park here in Escondido. The side of this State Cup President's Division match. And it goes past the goal line. The shot that time by Taylor Perales, who's played pretty good in the first half for the Hawks.
Gotta win that, Brian.
He would have loved to have that chance back. Here is Pichardo. Now wide.
Bring it down. Bring it down.
This is Cypress Premier FC.
Get it back.
Lemus. Down the central. Can't go any further as it was cut off there. Perales. Driving it there was a Jesus Gomez, and now down to central trying to follow it up was Fernando Gomez. And Fernando trying to chase it down that time with Michael Rager. And Rager in the area can't get to it. Gomez upfield, Detner now, but he can't win it. Here's Perales. Perales getting it over to Rager. Rager and Perales. But it goes by him to Detner, but coming into space quickly that time was Jesus Gomez. Gomez drove it out of play, couldn't find somebody on the other end of the pass. Cypress Premier FC now in their own defensive third. Quickly, Diaz a touch. And now they have to retreat back in their own defensive half to deal with Pichardo. And Pichardo now is going to chase it down, and he gets a touch onto it, and he wins it along that right flank, and that ball is out of play. It was lastly touched out by the Hawks. All right, take that back by Pichardo, and then it's going to be a throw-in. The Hawks will throw it in at the midfield area. And they're going to get a fresh player in, as Alexis Gonzalez looked like he was smarting a little bit, comes out of the match. And we will mention that player that came in as he touches that soccer ball. The throw-in knocked out by Cypress Premier FC. And they're retreating back again into their own defensive third now. As in the second half here, the all-white with the red numbers are playing a lot better. But here's Pichardo winning the soccer ball for Cypress Premier FC now. And they have it down the central, but Diaz was there. Pichardo getting it, going out wide. Pichardo has it now and sends that ball down the right flank, and quickly getting over there was Dakota Jacobson to drive it out of play. along that left side defensive spot for the Hawks. But now in the attacking third, though, for Cypress Premier FC. Let's see what they can do. Knocked out of play quickly. Getting into space was Casey Chavez. The throw in again. Chavez gets a touch, but he misses the rest of it. And a service into the 18-yard box. They couldn't get a subsequent touch as Detner was the closest player to it. Down the central, Gomez. Dispossessed. Diaz. Perales. But here's Detner now. Detner and coming down at central, Pichardo. And out wide now with Rogelio Velasquez. Now here's Serrano. Serrano now still on it. Serrano into the 18-yard box and a shot, and he just missed the far post that time. And he, being number 16, Christopher Pichardo. He's got the only goal of this match, 1-0. Here in the early moments of the second half. Coming in now, Ignacio Lycia, number 17. Lycia, his pass intercepted that time by Diaz upfield. Going over to Rager. Rager and his teammates having a hard time of it, but they pursue it even further, and it's knocked out of play. Knocked out by Cypress Premier FC. Here is Perales, Taylor Perales. And Taylor looking that time for Rager. He couldn't possess it. Went upfield, and now they're going to have to retreat back. As quickly getting there was Matthew Choi. He's got his deep defender, and then now to midfield. But numbers for Cypress Premier FC. Rocha, and then out wide now for Lara. Daniel Lara on the move, gets around one player. Sends that ball for Pichardo, but he couldn't get it. Down the right flank, though, they still have it with Serrano. And Serrano couldn't go any further at midfield. To the near side. With the Hawks now trying to go forward. And it's going to be a free kick. And a warning there to the youngster. Cypress Premier FC. Going to be a substitution for Cypress Premier FC. As coming in now is Joshua Funes. Free kick now for the Tvsa Hawks. Driven down the central. Trying to get somebody to run onto it, could not. To the near side. And winning it there was Jesus Gomez. Nice play. Sending it forward. Rager couldn't do anything with it, and his teammates now got to retreat back. As here comes Pichardo. Pichardo takes a shot and a goal! Go, 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 goal! Christopher Pichardo, and it is 2-0. Nice run down the left flank, and he put it in the back of the net. Just inside a far post. No chance for Cameron Franklin on the play. And Pichardo gets a round of applause as he comes out now. Coming in now is number 3, Christian Lemus. And a change of keeper now as Omar Navarro coming in, or leaving the match. And we will find out who came in.
Come on, hurry up, hurry.
So Navarro And Navarro now is back in the match as a keeper. Something with the gloves at the center ref wanted to happen, and there was the reason for the substitution. So 2-0 as Pichardo scoring both of the goals.
Their goalie doesn't have a number over there. Well, we don't want to kill time. I know what you're saying, but it's upsetting, yeah.
Into the Central now for the Hawks. And they have a lot of work to do now, down 2-0. Rager. Gomez now. Fernando Gomez going out wide now for the Hawks, and that ball is knocked out of play. But it's going to be a throw-in for the all-white with the red numbers as they want to keep this offensive attack going. Do something maybe inside that 18-yard box. Diaz, service into the box, and a save by Omar Navarro. Navarro hasn't been very busy in this match. He makes the save there, though. In his space with Choi under a lot of duress. And now we've got teammates to try to help him out into space. And the center ref wants to talk with the player, and that player is going to be of the all-white and warn him. Ian Detner sets it up, but Angel Rocha looks like he's going to take the free kick. And the center ref walking off the distance that wall has to be for the TVSA Hawks. TVSA out of Temecula. Rocha trying to get somebody in an 18-yard box, but on the backside they have a shot, trying to get a subsequent strike. It could not. Daniel Lara, nice service into the box. Here's Detner winning the soccer ball. Down the central, but no problem for Franklin. Had plenty of time and space on the pitch. And he sends that ball off of a bounce, knocked out of play by Cypress Premier FC. And the Hawks will throw it in up from the near side. And there is a change of goalie. Officially this time, Cesar Jimenez looks like he's coming into the match. Leo Rodriguez is actually in the match as keeper. And a whistle. Throw in from the near side, Cypress Premier FC. They throw it in. Try to keep the attack going. Obviously to try to start one out of their own defensive half. Down the central with Lara, a touch, getting it to Detner. Detner driving it forward, but his pass is intercepted. Lara chasing it down. It'll be a throw-in, though, for Cypress Premier FC. To Detner. Detner striking it forward. A nice header that time by Daniel Zayas. But here's Detner in a space. Pass intercepted. Here's Lycia. Ignacio, his pass intercepted. He was looking for Detner. But now they have it back along the right flank with Serrano chasing it down. And it's going to be a throw-in, knocked down by TVSA. And the Hawks now, it's going to be a free kick. Indirect free kick now, and that ball driven to midfield. On the near side, chasing it down is Perales, and he and the Cypress Premier player going down. But it was lastly off of Perales. And the throw-in now. Villa, Jose Villa on the last throw-in. Up forward, and here's Villa again, getting a touch. But Perales shielding a player off, but winning it. Nicely done that time by Brian Chung. Detner. Chung felt he was interfered with and didn't get a call. Into the 18-yard box, and the save by Leo Rodriguez. On the near side, Taylor Perales. And the offsides call. And Leo knew that. He was letting that linesman know all about that one. But the center ref saw it. Ian Detner comes out of the match. And his teammate. So now it's Rogelio Velasquez, number 11, and Christopher Pichardo back into the match. He, of the 2 goals that have been scored in this match, accounting for all the goals in this match. And it's 2-0 score. Now in the central. And now on the near side. Rodriguez wins it and drives it upfield. And it is out of play. It'll be a throw-in for the all-white with the red numbers, Francisco Mariscal throwing it in. Mariscal. His pass was intercepted. Chung winning it, sending it across midfield. On it is Pichardo. Pichardo now sending it out wide. Serrano running onto it. Jonathan Serrano still on it, trying to get it back to Pichardo, but it went past the goal line. Pretty good run, and you say, well, it didn't result in getting one in the back of the net or getting a quality shot, at least onto the net. It's okay. When you lead 2-0, you're eating time off the clock, and that works just as good when you're leading in the world of soccer because it's a running clock. No timeouts. Towards midfield. The header, Daniel Lara. Getting to it there was Jake Mitchell, driving it all the way to the defensive third, but they tightened up in the deep back. A rather high line, and now trying to get it again as going after it that time was Rager. On the near side. Cypress Premier FC. And that is Funes. But Funes dispossessed now by Matthew Choi on the near side. Rager chases it down. It'll be a throw-in for Cypress Premier FC. And let's see what the all white and red can do to try to keep it in the defensive half. They were doing pretty good in the early moments here of the second half, but as this half has worn on, they haven't been able to do quite as good a job. Cypress Premier FC. The throw-in. That time, Chung, and then it goes out of play. They'll have another opportunity to throw it in. Jose Villa. And Villa after the header by his teammate, Funes. And they're working it to Pichardo. On the near side, Funes. And it's out of play. Throw in for the Hawks. Pichardo tried to get a strike on it, but he couldn't. As getting that strike first, that time was Zayas. That ball in the central, now out to the wide for the Hawks, trying to go forward, but winning it is Lara into space. He gets it to his teammates in the central, but the intercept with Jacobson. Jacobson sending that ball across midfield to the near side. And it goes out of play. The ball with the geometric designs of the most famous sport in the world, football. In most countries, soccer in this one, because we got another sport called football. The throw in by Villa on the near side. And the header, nicely done by Jose. And it'll be a throw in. Looks like Rogelio, or rather Mariscal, Francisco Mariscal will throw it in for the Hawks. His team down by 2. Mariscal dropping it back. The quick strike by Zayas. And on the near side, it goes out of play. And Daniel and his team's mates in the attacking third now. In the space. Villa winning it, sending it up forward. Pichardo in the space, winning it. On the near side for Detner, hustling after it, and he gets it. Ian Detner on the near side. And Karams forward. Pichardo chasing it down. Can he keep it in? He can't. And it goes past the goal line. Or will it be past the near? No, it's actually going to be a throw-in. Detner now winning it. Sends it to Pichardo. Pichardo, diagonal pass. Looking for his teammate, Lara. After the collision, going up forward with the Hawks. And Jake Mitchell, who was hurt in the first half, is showing how tough he is to stay after that soccer ball, number 8 for the Hawks. Knocked down there. The service. The header back out of the box and then behind frame. 2-0. Cypress Premier FC. Out of Cypress, California. LA County area. Some of these players maybe living in the OC. Who knows? Maybe even in parts of San Bernardino County. Players on these club teams travel a long way to play. In space, Diaz, Luis getting it up forward. Luis still on a soccer ball along that left flank, and it goes out of play. Knocked out by Lara. Luis will throw it in. You're looking for Perales. Knocked out though. However, they'll be able to throw it in from the far side touchline. In its 2-0 match. Throwing it in. Getting it to the central. Rager couldn't win it. But on it there was Gomez, but Gomez got dispossessed. Diego Ochoa sending it forward. Got his teammate Jake Mitchell, and he drives it off a player, so it'll be a throw-in for Jake Mitchell and the TVSA Hawks here in the State Cup President's Division for 2012, the opening weekend here at Francis Ryan Park in Escondido. In a blustery day. The raindrops have been falling in and around this day, not only in San Diego County, but up further, parts of Riverside County. And all the way into San Bernardino County as that ball goes past the goal line. But there was an offsides call on the play. The far side linesman, far side touchline. So the free kick for TVSA Hawks.
ahead. Go ahead, left forward. Let's go.
Maybe about 8 to 10 minutes left to go in a match. Still plenty of time. Or maybe less than that, more like 5 minutes left as I get confirmation by one of the linesmen. And it goes out of play past the goal line. And that was an offsides call. Take that back. It went past the goal line like I said initially. So it's going to be a goal kick. Easier for you to see than me. And their own defensive third and a foul. It's going to work against the Tvsa player. And center ref marking off the distance. Ian Detner now, the free kick. Up high, and a save is made by Franklin. Nice save by Cameron Franklin going up high. As Detner was robbed there and nearly gave him a 3-0 lead. And on the far side, looks like there's going to be a foul called on the play. And a yellow card. And a red card. So, Pichardo, that's right. Pichardo got a yellow card earlier, and now he's red carded. And that has implications on the tournament. And, of course, in this match, he cannot play anymore. But he has scored 2 goals and done quite a bit of damage so far for Cypress Premier FC, but it's the next match that is the one that is going to be more worrisome, so to speak. As you go on in this tournament and playing tougher teams. Mariscal trying to get to it, but he could not. Nicely done by Angel Rocha. Keep him away, and that eats off time off the clock. Does 2 things, especially when you're leading. It's a big play. In the central, Jesus Gomez, and out to the wide side. As that ball sent toward the central. Player going down. Center ref says play on. Lycia all the way down for Lara. Striking it is Funes, and he was looking up forward, and it's knocked out of play inadvertently by Jonathan Serrano. On the far side touchline, looking for Rager, and they've got him. Michael Rager, but his pass is intercepted there in the space as his teammate went by the pass. Velasquez, Detner hopping over it. Into space, Rocha. And now Jose Villa winning it. Nicely done by Jose, sitting in early ball, trying to get Rogelio Velasquez to run onto it, but it had too much pace on it that time. Matter of minutes left to go in this match. 2-0. Cypress Premier FC over Tvsa Hawks. And the Hawks have to do a lot of heavy-duty work in a short amount of time, as it is knocked out of play. But they'll get a throw in. Jake Mitchell chasing it down, and will throw it in. Gomez coming to it, and has it. Jesus going to go towards the near side. The double whistle, and that is the end of the match. The final scores, Cypress Premier FC winning 2-0 over the Tvsa Hawks Black with Christopher Pichardo's 2 goals. He had 1 in the first half, and he scored another one here in the second half. Stick with us. We will have interviews and closing comments with the players who participated in this Boys Under 12 State Cup President's Division match. We'll be right back. Greg G.K. Porter back here at Francis Ryan Park, and I'm here with one of the keepers, and you are?
Leonardo Rodriguez.
Okay. Talk about a little bit about being in the President's Division now. This is opening weekend, and your games today.
Yeah, I like. I'm really excited for the State Cup because it's my very first one.
Yeah, it's a great feeling, isn't it? And what do you guys plan on doing, as a team in the State Cup? Do you guys want to get all the way to the finals and try and win this thing?
Yeah, but we got to be very good teams. Gold, West, Silver League, all those teams.
Okay. So it's going to be a tough road, but you think you're ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you like to do when you're not playing soccer?
Just practice.
Okay. No video games or anything like that?
No, not that much.
Okay. When you go to school, you have a favorite subject or teacher at school?
Subject, math.
Okay. You pretty good at it?
Yeah.
But it's fun, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good deal, Leo. And anything you'd like to say to anybody watching this video?
No.
Okay. Well, good deal in the rest of this State Cup, and take care of yourself, all right?
Thank you.
And another Cypress Premier FC player, and you are?
Ian Detmer.
Ian, talk about playing in this match today.
Our team played good. I wish we could have scored more goals because we needed more goals for going on.
Okay. When you say going on, does that mean that you can't continue on?
We aren't sure yet. We got a shutout, but I'm not sure what's going to happen next.
Well, I tell you what, if you got a shutout in this game, the way you guys played, hopefully maybe the soccer gods will decide to allow you guys to continue. You played very, very well in this match.
Thank you.
Okay. Talk about things outside of soccer for you, Ian.
I like to run. I like school. I I like doing my homework all the time. That's it, I guess.
Just very, very happy young man. Okay, well, sounds good. Anything you want anybody watching this video to remember?
Our team tried our hardest, and I hope we go on.
All right. Well, good luck, Ian, in the rest of the year, okay?
Thank you.
All right, another player, and I believe this guy put the ball in the back of the net, and you are?
Christopher Pichardo.
Christopher, talk a little bit about, today's and the first bracket weekend.
It was cool. I never been to this place, and we don't go a lot of places, but, this is one of the nicest places we ever been to, so.
This is one of the newer parks in San Diego County, and yes, it is very, very nice, this area here. It seemed like you guys took that and used it to be very successful on the field. Talk about your 2 goals.
I was just trying my best. I'm thankful that my teammates passed it to me. We all get along, so I can get the ball and put the ball in the back of the net.
And you are thankful of the blessings of your parents to get you out here on the pitch, huh?
Yeah, I'm very thankful for my parents. They've always been there for me, pushing me, to do better in school and in soccer.
Okay. Well, it definitely showed today, and it seems like you spearheaded your team. Unfortunately, it ended up with that card, and now, hopefully you guys continue on, but are they going to be able to have your services in the next match?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, you guys learned a valuable lesson out of that, I'm sure you did. And hopefully you guys get to go on and you get an opportunity to play more, because I enjoyed watching you. What do you like to do when you're not playing soccer?
Just school and soccer is my main things, my 2 jobs.
Okay. All right. Well, when you go to school, do you have a favorite subject or teacher at school?
Or
does it really matter?
I like all subjects. Math is the one I like the least, though, because it's the hardest for me.
Yeah, it is. And it seems to get harder as you get older, trust me.
Oh, I believe you.
Okay. All right. Well, anything you'd like to say to your family or anybody watching this video?
All right. Well, thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad, for pushing me to the limit, you guys. And Cypress rocks.
Hey, good job. Greg G.K. Porter back here with 2 more of the Cypress Premier FC players in your?
Daniel Lara.
Daniel, talk about playing in this match today and just in this opening weekend.
Well, it's really exciting considering we got a shutout today. Hopefully we can go on to the next stage in this tournament. And I think we played a pretty good game. Kind of hope we could get more goals, but I think we played a pretty good game.
Well, you guys played a fabulous game. You guys basically kept them off balance the whole match. They tried to maybe do some things in the second half early, but you guys wouldn't allow that. Showed how strong of a team and the good coaching that your coaches have been preaching to you guys.
Yeah, our coach is really great. He's really taught us a lot and how to defend and how to attack. He's a great coach, and yeah, I think it was great. They definitely tried to put more people on the attacking side, which is different from the first half. They tried to defend more, and so it was a little harder for defense, but we shut them down still.
Well, I think this tournament deserves to see you guys more in this state cup for 2012. What do you like to do when you're not playing soccer?
Well, I still like to practice, and school is pretty fun too. Yeah.
And what's your favorite thing about school?
Well, I like math and writing. Yeah, so my 2 favorite subjects.
Alrighty. Well, anything you'd like to say to anybody watching this video?
Yeah, just have a great life, I guess.
And you're enjoying playing soccer, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Okay, take care, all right?
All right, thank you.
And you are?
Jonathan Serrano.
Jonathan, talk about playing in this match today.
Well, it was really exciting going to State Cup and trying our best, and we got a shutout, and hope we move on to the next round.
Well, that's a great way to put it, because even if you guys aren't able to move on, this was a great experience, wasn't it?
Yes, we could learn from it.
That's right. And definitely anybody dealing with you guys the rest of the year, it's going to be tough because you guys have this experience in your hip pocket. And if you do get to go on, then again, you guys serve notice to the rest of the State Cup that you guys are going to be in this thing to try to win it, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of good teams out there, and we'll try our best to win it.
Okay. When you're not playing soccer, Jonathan, what do you like to do?
I still practice and I study for school.
Okay. Fabulous, fabulous. Anything you'd like to say to anybody watching this video?
Not really. It's just that go Cypress.
All right. Fabulous. Good luck. And that's going to do it here from Francis Ryan Park here in Escondido, where the score was 2-0. Christopher Pichardo scoring both of the goals, and he scored one in the first half and scored one in the second half, being marred, unfortunately, by the red card. But hopefully for the Cypress Premier FC, they'll have an opportunity to continue on here in this State Cup President's Division. For George Langevin on the video camera, I'm Greg G.K. Porter, saying take care of yourself as always. God bless, and remember to save this one on the hard drive. Bye now.